Now, of course, Parliament moves on, British politics moves on, even after such an horrific crime as was committed on Friday with Sir David Amess. You've got news, I think, about the by-election, which will inevitably have to be held in the stead of Sir David. The other parties are not going to contest it.
Well, Labour and the Liberal Democrats have announced that they won't be fielding a candidate. I personally think that's only right and proper. Of course, when the late Joe Cox was murdered in 2016 in Batley and Spen, none of the major parties stood in the subsequent by-election in honour of her memory. And indeed, David Amess was an MP that was respected across the House, you know, regardless of one's politics. Almost everyone who met him can agree that he was a thoroughly decent
He was very
human
likeable.
being.
I don't know anyone that didn't like him.
Indeed. And so,
including the workers in the building, by the way, which is always a good yardstick.
Absolutely. And so Labour and the Liberal Democrats have already announced this. I would imagine the Greens to follow suit very shortly. You'll, of course, get the fringe nutters, frankly, standing. In Batley and Spen, you had the English Democrats standing, a party called Liberty GB. So, you know, you can expect the Britain Firsts of this world to be putting up candidates.
The far right will put up candidates because
indeed,
they'll try to turn it into a race war, a religion war.
Of course, you can expect probably Jada Franson and a few other ugly faces turning up, in addition to probably a host of independents who fancy their chances in a by-election. But it's only really right and proper, I think, that the main parties do stand aside. I mean, the man was murdered. You know, he's not resigned to take up a plunge.
You see, a lot of people are asking me online here, what's the difference between why is one man's life more important than another? Here's the difference. He was elected by the people in his area to represent them. He was murdered whilst going about his job to represent them. That's the difference. Other victims of murder were not picked by their whole community to represent them, and then the community was robbed of that by one individual, let's hope it's only one individual, that takes it upon themselves to end that man's life. That's the difference.